We've received a distress call from the USS Callisto, which was on a research mission in a little explored area of the Delta Quadrant. We're not sure what happened to the Callisto, but we need someone to check it out. There are a lot of people on the Callisto, good Starfleet officers and researchers. Bring them home. Hello. Would you have time to look into something?
This is 7 of 9, part of the Federation research team assigned to the USS Callisto. My team and I were investigating this outpost when the defense systems activated and destroyed the ship. I am aware of your service record. Thank you for responding to our request for assistance. I was able to deactivate the outpost's defenses, but the system sent out an automated distress signal upon shutdown. It is logical to assume that someone will be arriving to investigate. Please transport my team and me to your ship. I will be of more assistance to you there. Long-range sensors are picking up inbound energy signatures. Voth ships. They must lay claim to this system.
Attention, trespassing no-therms. You are trespassing in Voth-aligned space. Surrender now, and we will allow you to live out the remainder of your lives on a prison world.
vessel. You have violated a Voth facility, and will be...
Where are they going? It's not like the Voth to leave a battle they would have clearly won.
This is a general distress signal for any ships in range. This is the Turei homeworld. We are under attack by an unknown force of immense power. We require immediate assistance.
The Turei are a spacefaring culture that Voyager encountered in 2376. They claim ownership of the underspace, which are corridors through subspace that significantly shorten travel times here in the Delta Quadrant. Command has been attempting to contact them, without success. Access to the underspace would be a distinct advantage for our fleets. That is one possibility. To my knowledge, the Voth and Turei are not enemies. However, there is still much we do not know about the Delta Quadrant. We have arrived in the Turei system. The Voth ships are in combat, but they are not engaging Turei vessels. Their opposition does not conform to any known ship in the database. Whoever these assailants are, their technology is exceptional. Even the Borg do not have ships such as these. The Voth and whomever they are fighting are speaking on an open channel. We can listen to them.
Your defense of the Turei thieves will be your undoing.
The Turei and Voth have a long-standing allegiance. The Turei's exothermic nature makes them superior to the other feeble races of the Quadrant.
Then you will be loyal to the death.
The surface of the Turei homeworld is being devastated by the debris from the Voth vessels. The Turei do have a defense network of satellites and shields that is capable of protecting them, but the control network is offline. This was intentional. Their attackers deliberately targeted the area during the initial assault. There is a secondary command center on the outskirts of one of their major settlements. If we transport directly there, we will be able to restore the control network. The invaders attacked this facility, but they did not do significant structural damage. They were, however, able to take down the control network controlling the orbital defense grid. That defense grid is the only thing capable of stopping all of the debris from the battle in orbit from raining down on the planet. Small pieces will burn up in the atmosphere, and your ship's weapons can deal with some others. but a significant percentage will get through. Until that grid is operational, there will be widespread devastation. There was a firefight here. One of the Turei is injured, but his condition is stable. He may be able to give us more information about the invaders.
Thank you. My name is Bellis. You're from Starfleet, right? The ships emerged from the underspace, and they were too close for our defense grid to stop the launch of drop pods. In minutes, they had knocked out the grid controls, and we were defenseless. We barely... You are not Turei. I cannot reveal our secrets.
If I may, underspace is a network of subspace corridors that extend through much of the Delta Quadrant. Voyager was pulled into one when its warp field interacted with the corridor's radial wall. At the time, we speculated that the corridors would speed our journey back to Federation space. That was not possible.
The attackers were Vaadwaur. Voyager did indeed interact with one of our corridors, but instead of deleting the info as we requested and going on their way, they revived our greatest enemy. All of this destruction, every death, it's all Voyager's fault.
Impossible. It cannot be the Vaadwaur. I would know. This is all my fault. When we first encountered the Vaadwaur, they were in cryostasis. I foolishly awoke their leader in a moment of curiosity. I didn't know their history. They were conquerors, despots. The Vaadwaur used underspace to rule the Delta Quadrant for decades. It was only when the other races banded together that they were defeated. At the time we encountered them, when I awakened them, Captain Janeway said she probably would have done the same thing. But it wasn't her choice, it was mine. I am responsible. However, the Vaadwaur we encountered did not have a level of technology like what we face here. This is far beyond anything the Vaadwaur are capable of developing in such a short amount of time. My analysis remains unchanged. We need to restore functionality to the defense grid. There are 4 nodes located on the edge of this complex. We must restart these nodes and realign them to the central tower to re-establish the grid.
I'll go to the central tower and start the initialization sequence.
We had to ally ourselves with the Turei to escape the Vaadwaur. My analysis of this node is complete. First, you must access the AI subroutines. Next, you must reinitialize the kinetic dampeners. Finally, you must establish the satellite uplink. Connection reestablished. When Admiral Tuvok asked me to leave my post at the Daystrom Institute to assist the Callisto, I thought the probability of seeing Vaadwaur was statistically insignificant. Whatever happens here, we must inform our superiors about the Vaadwaur threat. I have completed my analysis. Complete the following steps in the correct order. First, you must launch the startup sequencers. Next, you must update the defense protocols. Finally, you must align the main relay. Analysis complete. Perform these steps in the correct order. First, you must access the AI subroutines. Next, you must update the defense protocols. Finally, you must align the main relay. Defense node online. When we first rescued the Vaadwaur, we thought we could be allies. I blame myself for the Vaadwaur's return. It was a door best left unopened. Complete these steps in the correct order to initialize and align the node. First, you must reboot the core matrix. Next, you must charge the capacitive relays. Finally, you must establish the satellite up.
Starfleet! I need assistance at the central tower! Your team did an excellent job getting the defense nodes back online and realigned to the central hub here. The restart process will take some time, but the defense grid will be active in about 2 minutes. We'd be in good shape if the Vaadwaur hadn't launched more assault pods. These are mobile transporter pads used to bring more troops to the surface rapidly. I assume they're coming to stop us from restoring the defense grid.
The Turei took control of underspace after the Vaadwaur were defeated. Clearly, the Vaadwaur object. Vaadwaur reinforcements approaching.
Flanking damage detected. Shield losing power.
The Vaadwaur are relentless. Probability of our survival.
Damage detected. Shield losing power. Enemy targets on sensor.
The Vaadwaur are tenacious. We must be forced.
Shield losing power. Flanking damage detected. Enemy targets on sensor. Shield losing power. Flanking damage detected.
We can't keep this up forever!
What is that?
Enemy targets on sensor. Flanking damage detected. Shield losing power. Shield losing power. Shield losing power. Shield losing power.
It is not odd. Voth reinforcements have entered orbit.
These Vaadwaur do not want to do battle with an obviously superior force. While we did sustain great losses, we have made good on our agreement with the Turei. Bellas, we have restored your defense grid.
I'm not interested in petty squabbling about who did what. The grid is restored and we are safe. That's all that matters.
Seven of 9.
Admiral.
We detected the destruction of the Callisto. What?
It was your fault! Your ship invaded the Voth outpost! You woke the Vaadwaur!
Vaadwaur. Interesting. Starfleet intelligence did not consider them a threat. We believed their numbers were few and their technology outdated.
Then you were wrong! The Vaadwaur have returned, and no one is safe.
I see. 7. Voyager could use your expertise again. Will you return to the ship?
That would be acceptable.
Very well. We will take the other survivors from the Callisto as well. Thank you.
Voyager, 2 to beam up.
Thank you for assisting 7 and lending aid to the Turei. However, the discovery that our old foes, the Vaadwaur, have made such a leap in technology and are now threatening the entire quadrant is troubling.
Thank you. Without your help, my team and I may have been killed by the Voth. Now, however, I must turn my attention to the Vaadwaur. I am responsible for their return. I must assist in their defeat.
I've read Admiral Janeway's mission logs from Voyager. It would be troublesome enough to have the Vaadwaur return in force. They're an aggressive and difficult species. But if they have technology and forces that can defeat the Voth, this does not bode well. Hello. Would you have time to look into something? Are you familiar with Voyager's emergency medical hologram? He's quite unique, even for an old EMH Mark I. Now he holds rank in Starfleet in his own right. We've received a message that the doctor requires assistance to deal with the medical situation on an Ocampa freighter in the Shenda system. He's currently en route in one of Voyager's shuttles. Normally I'd send a medical vessel, but we've seen a spike in Vaadwaur attacks, and I want to make sure he has all the resources he'll need. Could you go to the Shenda system and assist the doctor? Hello. Would you have
I'm currently on leave from Voyager, and I was passing near the Hobus system.
Pleased to meet you. I scanned your service record before your arrival. You've been in quite a few battles, haven't you? Ever stop to think about the strain you're putting on your medical crew before you charge into combat? Of course you don't. No captain ever does. We've been hailing this Ocampan freighter for some time, but we're not getting a response, and our sensors cannot penetrate their shields. Their initial distress signals indicated that they were suffering from Paraniste measles. I can treat it easily, if I can get onto the ship. Now that your ship is here, it should be trivial to board the vessel and assess the situation. Transport me aboard your vessel, and then my shuttle can return to Voyager.
Excellent. Your ship has more powerful sensors than my shuttle.
fire. I am Gaul, leader of the Vaadwaur. Greetings. I am Gaul, leader of the Vaadwaur supremacy. I apologize for the overzealousness of my soldiers. This action was not authorized. I'm pleased to finally meet you. It appears your presence here in the Delta Quadrant has inadvertently caused some conflict between us. I would rather avoid any more unpleasantness. Would you be willing to meet with me face to face? That is understandable. You have a location in mind? There are not many areas of the Delta Quadrant where my people are not reviled.
Oh, what a wonderful surprise! Is there anything I can do for you? Diplomatic negotiations. I am Starfleet's ambassador to the Delta Quadrant. I would be more than happy to offer my services as mediator. As for the location, Dexa and most of our people are on New Talax now, but we still have the asteroid base in the Intaba system. It's mostly empty now, just a few cleanup crews, and the Kazon have been leaving it alone. It would be perfect.
Well, did you find a suitable location for our meeting? Talaxians. Are there still Talaxian communities? How odd. The site is agreeable. Send my ship the coordinates and I will meet you there.
I'm contacting the closest medical ship. They can investigate this further while we meet with Gaul. Imagine using a medical emergency as a trap. The Vaadwaur have no shame. I don't trust Gaul. He betrayed us on Vaadwaur Prime. He'll do it again.
It's good to see you again so soon. If I might make a suggestion, I would recommend only bringing 2 crew members with your away team. Gaul brought 4 aides. You'll have the doctor and myself, and bringing more of your crew down might look like you're trying to get an advantage on him. Gaul seems very touchy. Proper protocol will be important. Are you ready to beam down? It's so good to see... Doctor, it's been 30 years! You haven't aged a day!
Yes, it's good to see you too, Neelix.
We have a bit of time before we'll begin. We're giving the Vaadwaur a fine Talaxian feast to help ease the tension. Doctor, you must tell me all you've been up to!
Oh, Neelix, I couldn't. Not with the Vaadwaur here. But I suppose it is important that you hear about my many achievements since our last meeting. And my brilliant research was able to prove, conclusively, Thus I began my grand adventure into the challenge of writing Klingon opera.
Well, Brax and I agreed to never mention the incident again. Well, at least not to Dexa.
Neelix, the Vaadwaur have finished the appetizers and are waiting for you.
Oh, well, we had better get going. We can talk more later. Do you remember Chef Jolax from the last time you were here? He's the one that has been serving the Vaadwaur their fabulous appetizers. Full bellies make for good conversation, I always say. He told me that Gaul is a little grumpy, but I'm sure you can handle him. Gaul is in the command room now, waiting for us. Jolax should be back soon to take everyone's orders for the main course.
Ah, at last. I must say your Talaxian friends are quite hospitable. But down to business. Our meeting is long overdue. As do I. My people are damaged, in crisis. We are already at war with the Cabali, and with you, giving your alliances support for them. Do you know why we fight the Cabali? Their world was once a Vaadwaur colony, one of our largest. And there is still a large cache of stasis tubes on the planet. Those are my brothers and sisters being held hostage. The Cabali are stealing them, taking their very identities and transforming them. The Cabali would rather watch us die and use our corpses as fuel for their unnatural corruption. Is it wrong to fight against your own extinction? Don't we have a right to survive as well? There can be no peace. Not after what they've done. Are you suggesting we are weak? That we should just lay down and die for them? No, we will not. Do not try to pacify me. We will have our retribution. You have my offer. Abandon your alliance with the Cabali and support us, and we will be your strongest ally in the Quadrant. Peace. You know nothing of what it means to be Vaadwaur. You need to understand. The Vaadwaur have endured too much to make peace. Do you expect us to forget the destruction of our cities? The massacres of our people?
The food's almost ready. What would you all like for your main course?
You need to understand even the smallest fraction of our anger.
He's dead. I'm sorry.
Does that make you angry, Talaxian?
No. It makes me sad. For Jolax. And for you.
Then we are not done.
What the? Oh no.
time only to save one group? Your choice. I would go with you, but I cannot leave Neelix alone. And time is of the essence. I'm afraid you'll have to go on without us.
No, I'm going. I can't sit by and let the Vaadwaur kill my friends. I won't be a burden. I promise. I have to do this.
Save the hostages, but they may be safer here. What about the people in logistics?
Doctor, you have to save them. These are my friends.
They are beyond my help now, Neelix. I'm sorry.
Then we can still save the others. We have to get to the shuttle in the cargo bay.
join us here as soon as possible. More Vaadwaur on the way! Defend the shuttle! More on the way. If I weren't a hologram, I'd be worried. A large number of Vaadwaur are closing in. I'm afraid they may be too much for you to handle.
The Turei are here to assist. After this, our debt to you is repaid.
That's timely. Here come the Vaadwaur.
I would have words with you before you continue. Our help does not mean we are now allies. We are repaying a debt. Our ships are currently engaging the Vaadwaur fleet. It is unsafe for this shuttle to launch until they are defeated. We will return to our ships. I suggest you do the same. We will provide cover for your ship so it may drop shields to transport you.
I knew this meeting was a farce. The word Vaadwaur means fool in ancient Talaxian. Did you know that? You thought me a fool who would swallow your insults without comment. A fool who would blunder into the trap you set with the Turei. I am not. This has destroyed any chance of an accord between us. How disappointing. I had thought you would be a valuable ally. Now you are just another victim.
Voyager is here. Will not allow the Vaadwaur to escape.
You came to our aid when the Vaadwaur attacked our homeworld. Now we have come to assist you. This discharges our obligation.
How could they do something so horrible? We're no threat to them. We've done nothing but welcome them. And he killed my friends just to make a statement. I don't understand how anyone would be so callous. I don't blame you. I agreed to let the Vaadwaur come here. I put my people in danger. This is my responsibility. I just never conceived that even the Vaadwaur could be so treacherous. They double-crossed us on Voyager and tried to take the ship, but slaughtering innocent people. My time on Voyager changed me. I saw the best that people could be. I forgot, or wanted to forget, how evil they could be. With your permission, I'll lead the survivors back to New Talax. Then we can return with a security force to collect the dead.
I've been in contact with the USS Blackwell. They boarded the freighter in the Shenda system, but it was empty. It was all a ruse by the Vaadwaur to lure us into that system. Everything was part of this play God wanted to perform, from the initial distress call to his intervention and offer to negotiate. And then he used a massacre to set his stage. That's the kind of man he is, and unless he's stopped, the entire quadrant may fall.
Gaul has shown his true nature. I expected he was not dealing in good faith. But nevertheless, we had to make an attempt to find a peaceful solution to our problems with the Vaadwaur. Now the war will continue. I grieve for all who have been lost, and for those who will fall before this conflict ends.
Senseless, meaningless death. I'll never understand. I hope Neelix and his people will be able to find some peace, and that Gaul will answer for his crimes. And I hope our paths cross again, perhaps under better circumstances next time. With your permission, I'll return to Voyager.
Gaul's actions were unconscionable. A senseless slaughter simply to make a point. And he wanted your sympathy. It's clear from your reports he had no intention of making peace, and that he would have twisted anything you said to meet his own agenda. He's a warmonger, and one that must be stopped. Peace with the Vaadwaur will not be attained through Gaul, but we'll keep looking for another way. Perhaps there's someone else out there who will be more reasonable. Hello. Would you actually look into something for me? Are you familiar with the Cabali? Their homeworld is under attack by the Vaadwaur, and they've requested our aid. I informed the head of their military that you would render them support on the ground. Their city has been under siege for months and cannot take much more. Please do what you can on Cabali Prime to stop the Vaadwaur from destroying the Cabali. Hello. Would you...
Hello, I'm Captain Harry Kim, Starfleet's military liaison to Kabali Prime. The Vaadwaur have been assaulting the Kabali homeworld for months now. The Kabali are near a breaking point. They're not trained for war. Not like the Vaadwaur. The Alliance is here to stop the Vaadwaur and help the Kabali reclaim their home. You and several others will be leading our forces here. I'll be doing some investigations to help support the effort. Good luck.
I cannot tell you how good it is to have you here. Our people have been bombarded by the Vaadwaur for months. We cannot take much more of this. Before you go out to the field, I would ask your help within the city. Morale is at an all-time low, and our people could use a boost.
The Alliance needs your help. A group of Alliance ships are currently under attack by the Vaadwaur in the Orlita system. The Lisette is making its way there to render assistance. I want you to back them up. We don't know what the Vaadwaur have there, and I want to give us the best possible chance of victory. Hello. Would you have time?
Glad to have you by our side. This is one of the systems marked for further examination during your work with Sub-Commander Sehen. I'm not sure what the Vaadwaur are up to here, but they're fighting like demons. They're attacking a small group of Alliance vessels. More hostile ships are on the way. I propose we divide and conquer. The Lisette will fly ahead and catch any incoming ships, while you free our trapped allies. Your thoughts?
Thanks for the help.
large Vaadwaur fleet just arrived. This is our chance to strike before they retreat.
I am Lieutenant Gaius Salan, Chief Intelligence Officer for the Lasset. I regret to inform you that the Vaadwaur now control the ship. The bridge is lost, and we are locked out of most internal sensors. However, I managed to access a secure comm channel before the security codes were changed, and have located a safe location for transport. I have sent the coordinates to your ship. Without your assistance, the Lasset and her crew will be lost.
The ship is swarming with Vaadwaur soldiers. Our security forces are attempting to engage them, but as of yet, we have not made significant gains. I am unable to contact other members of the senior staff, but I believe they are still alive. Very coincidental, really. Our current situation is remarkably similar to my invasion scenario 4591. When you are ready, we can go over our plan of attack. Scenarios, plural. I have gone through several hundred holodeck simulations of various factions attempting to board the Lasset. As the designated intelligence officer, it is important I know what to do in every scenario. The Vaadwaur simulation is incomplete, but they are acting in accordance to several other scenarios. If you are wondering, I do have a scenario that deals with your crew boarding us. I would enjoy talking to you sometime about how to improve your vulnerabilities. The Vaadwaur are jamming transporters and communications. My holodeck simulations determined the commander's quarters is one of the places where interference would be the weakest, allowing me to bring in outside help. The other areas, if you are curious, are the secondary control room, storage room 10 beneath engineering, and, well, I shall leave the final one a surprise. We need to retake several key areas of the ship. The security team here will capture the bridge. Meanwhile, your team should storm the med bay, which we are very close to. Dr. Kratark should be there. After that, we must retake the armory to prevent the Vaadwaur from resupplying. In the majority of my scenarios, Lieutenant Turei is there making a stand against the invaders. From there, we need to see whether the Vaadwaur perform like Scenario 4591 or Scenario 3291. Though perhaps they may surprise us and be more like 6895. My apologies. We do not have time for my idle speculation. Any questions?
You must stop this meaningless massacre! Consider the balance!
That's the one who defied Gaul! Kill them all!
You have my thanks. Such reckless slaughter! Thank you for the rescue. The Vaadwaur have no respect for anything other than their own selfish goals. I'm sorry, but I cannot help you any further. I am just a civilian scientist, not a trained killer, a trained soldier like you. I'll wait here until everything has settled down, unless you believe there is something I can do. Yes, that is more than acceptable. I will not fight, but I can help restore the balance by helping others. I will attempt to stabilize anyone who needs help here, and then await word from you or the doctor that the medbay is safe.
Do your worst. You're amateurs compared to the Tal Shiar. I will not sit by and let you take this ship. Thank you. Let's get to work. Glad to see you, but if you came here instead of the bridge, it means you're following a plan made by Gaius and his scenarios. The equipment here is still operational. I'll begin treating the wounded. There's a console nearby you can use to contact the security team heading to the bridge. I've watched enough of Gaius and his scenarios to know that he would never count on a single team's success. He'd send someone else to the bridge. And I also know he's made a few modifications to almost every console on the ship, including that one. Nothing happens in my med bay without my knowledge.
Good timing. We're about to storm the bridge. We'll keep the channel open during the assault. I'll contact you again after we have control.
What makes you think you will succeed where others have failed? You should have taken Gaul's offer.
I imagine we both overheard the same thing. Very curious. I've run simulations where the security team failed, but none like this. We should continue with the plan. We have this area secure, and you are the only mobile unit still available. If you can recover Ju and her team in the armory, we will have another opportunity to retake the ship.
Thanks for the help, I guess. We should talk strategy. Vaadwaur. I'll take down every last one of them, I swear it. Nobody makes me look like a fool. I guess I'll let you deal with a few. I can't be in two places at once. We have problems in the brig and in engineering. Zionel and his team are pinned down in engineering, and Commander Jarok and Sub-Commander Merrill are in the brig. I'm going to hit engineering. If the Vaadwaur get control of the Singularity, we're done. Think you could secure brig?
Disable the security grid, and we can get out of here.
Thank you. What's the situation? You're a welcome sight. I was on the bridge. We were attacked by just one Vaadwaur, but he was different, stronger, unstoppable. He wiped out our security team, but he knocked Var and me out. Put us here for questioning. What's happening? Do we have control of the bridge? Is Zyno there? If he and Zhu can hold engineering while we take the bridge, we can take control of the ship and then clean up the Vaadwaur from there. I'll still need some time to recover. You and Sub-Commander Merrill should head to the bridge. I'll stay here and monitor the situation. Be on your guard. The Vaadwaur that took that bridge shrugged off our attacks like they were nothing. He won't go down easily.
Commander Jarok requires our assistance.
He's gone. Strange. Excellent work. We have control of the ship's life support, navigation, and weapon systems again. According to the logs, the Vaadwaur leader was attempting to open fire on your ship. Doesn't look like he could get past Lieutenant Salon's security algorithm. I'll handle things up here, but could you use that console to contact Lieutenant Turei? Tell her to scramble her security teams and find that Vaadwaur.
If you want to live, you'll give me what I want.
I've survived worse than you.
You have no idea who you're dealing with.
Was this all a trick to lure us away from engineering? What are they trying to... No, he couldn't. I fear the worst. If the Vaadwaur is in engineering, he could turn off the shielding protecting the Singularity Core. Without containment, the Singularity will implode.
This way. Narwhal and I have a plan. Very predictable. If the Vaadwaur can't use the Lisette to attack other ships, they will make a statement by destroying us with our own singularity. I've analyzed the data from other teams fighting the Vaadwaur. It's pointless for you to try to fight him. Your weapons are inadequate for the task. However, Narwhal has come up with an interesting theory that may work. The vents in the Singularity Core carry a modified version of plasma. I'm not cleared to give you all the details, but the Lisette is testing several advances that have not been provided to other ships in the fleet at this time. Narwhal believes direct exposure to this modified plasma may create a vulnerability in the Vaadwaur. I believe this plan has a low chance of success, but it is the best option we have. If you can lure the Vaadwaur beneath the vents, Narwhal and I will overload them, causing the plasma to cover the Vaadwaur and weaken him. You'll have one more problem to deal with before that, however. The Vaadwaur has erected a shield around the Singularity Core. Very smart, I must say. No one will be able to affect him when he is inside. You must trick him into dropping that shield. I suggest playing towards the Vaadwaur's pride. That is usually the surest way to convince someone to make a suboptimal move. Once that is done, lure the Vaadwaur beneath one of the vents. We'll activate the plasma, and then you can properly knock out our friend. Are you ready?
ship is doomed! Made it. A shame. We had hoped you would be neutralized by now. But you show an unusual resilience. Perhaps that's why Gaul made his generous offer. You're too late to stop what is happening. The Singularity Core's overload has already begun. You will all be destroyed by your greatest weapon. It's almost poetic, really. My pride as a Vaadwaur. That's good. Very good. This is simply the most efficient way. I could kill you all one at a time, but I have better things to do. Interesting. But will you abandon the Lisette, or will you stay until the last glorious second to try and save it? Regardless, I will admit you make a point. You've survived too many of your previous encounters for me to leave anything to chance. I will enjoy seeing the last bit of life leave your eyes.
Enemy targets on sensors. Flanking damage detected. Flanking damage detected. Personal shield losing power.
Funnel to the plasma. Focus your fire.
He's recovering.
Funnel to the plasma. Focus your fire.
It's time to finish this.
Personal shield losing power.
It'll take more than that to kill me. I will not be stopped.
We need a better solution.
I've got just the thing.
What was that thing?
I don't know, but we need a better way to fight it.
I'll get to work.
Thank you for all your help. Without you, we would have lost the Lisette. It's unfortunate we couldn't capture the Vaadwaur alive for questioning. He was unlike anything I've ever seen. What made him so powerful? Neril did manage to get a few scans. He's compiling a report on what he found, and your success with the plasma. We'll need to adapt. We can't count on throwing every Vaadwaur like him into a Singularity Core. We will handle the repairs. You should return to your ship when you're ready.
Commander Jarok, I have some preliminary data for you. The Vaadwaur gave off a modulated carrier wave every time he was attacked by an energy weapon. In effect, he reflected the energy outward as infrared radiation. Owl and I are not yet clear on whether this is a product of biology or technology, but he did show strange isobarmy neurotransmitter activity.
Regardless, this will give us a starting point to find vulnerabilities. I'll send on more findings as we complete them, and we should be able to adapt our weapons to be more effective in the future.
A Super Vawdwaur. This is the first time I'm hearing of it. You've done the Alliance quite a service today. Losing the Lisette would have been a major blow to us, and the Vaadwaur know that if they're resorting to boarding parties. We'll get the best scientists in the Alliance to analyze your combat data. With any luck, we can discover a way to hurt the Vaadwaur the same way Picard discovered how to fight the Borg. Hello. Would you have time to look into something for me? We know there's something going on with the Vaadwaur and the Cartella system, but we haven't been able to get any ships close enough to determine what that is. I think you'll have better luck. The area doesn't have a lot of resources, but there's enough Vaadwaur ship traffic in the area to indicate a major base. But they're guarding it so closely that it could have something to do with their sudden jump in power. Given the aggressive nature of the Vaadwaur, getting close enough to investigate without attracting their attention will be difficult. We've made contact with a Hazari bounty hunter in possession of equipment that should allow you to approach and infiltrate their base. Hello. Would you have time to look into something for me?